is the video footage from TennoCon 2018, the game Warframe, right? This is a title that is no longer little known. I remember actually saying that in a few top 10s back when it first came out. Actually, I was one of the first people to ever play Warframe. Yeah, my review came out 2 days early before Total Biscuit's infamous video. So I really do appreciate what Warframe is, what it does, and of course, like everyone else, what it can and probably will be eventually. Well, let's go ahead and talk about that, I guess. So, what are we getting with these new updates? Mostly what I'm excited about is going to probably be just the fact that we got a new open world zone. Just the fact that they are expanding on new planes. I do like that concept. Now, the last one, I actually was included in the hype video, the accolades trailer. It said Skyline Games, and it says a new dawn for Warframe, which I thought it was. It was the start of something new. And as we can see, they're following through with that, taking more steps, climbing higher than ever before, and hopefully doing some really cool, radical stuff, which, I mean, like, they are, like they always will, but specifically with the planes concept. So instead of fishing, we're getting monster tracking, and we're getting a totally different type of kaiju fights, and hopefully we're gonna get different environmentals, just literally different environments, like maybe more vertical. This one seems more mountainous instead of more plainy. So yeah, hopefully we get really radical. So like radical ridiculous. New boxes to play with our toys. So that's kind of how I see Warframe. It's a toy box. We get lots of cool toys. We get lots of different kind of boxes. And normally the criticism I would have is that, well, they just spam us with stuff to buy in the cash shop, and they just spam us with mindless grind to an extent. So lots of the boxes are reskins, and lots of the toys aren't as inventive as they used to be, and they just kind of spam that. But no, it seems like there's a little bit more interchangeability now, which I want to go and talk about with the space battles. Now, at first, I was like really freaking turned off by this. So you might play a game like Sea of Thieves or the little-known game Guns of Icarus, and there's a few other titles where you actually man a ship, and I know Star Citizen wants to do that in the future. A lot of people joking about that basically Warframe is making Star Citizen because Star Citizen is taking too long to produce. So yeah, I can see that, but that was actually what turned me off. Is like, oh no, dude, is this gonna be another Archwing? Is this really like another totally random element of gameplay that doesn't look that exciting? Like from somebody who actually plays like games, you know, I went to school for game design. This actually looks nothing unique at all. It basically turns the game into a light gun game when we're supposed to be ninjas in space. But actually, after watching the full trailer and the full gameplay, it actually got me really excited for the future of Warframe, because even if just manning a turret sounds boring, you are working as a team. You do have to get on and off these turrets. You have to actually put out fires. You are going to be invaded. Your ship's actually going to have like monsters come in, mobs, and then you can actually jump out and use your Archwing. That's one thing that I want to really, focus on there, is that you will be using what used to be basically a lame, dumb, just hypey mechanic. They added Archwing to get people into the game. They added Archwing to add mindless grind. They added Archwing to make money, essentially. But now it's becoming more of a full-fledged mechanic because it's being interchanged. So that's what I'm excited about, is we got a new box, which at first glance looks shallow, but then we got the toys that normally we didn't know what to do with those, like half-assed in Plains of Eidolon. No, we're actually put it into this new box, so I like that. Interchange toys and boxes. Cool. Then we also do, you can use your Archwing, fly around, probably defend your ship, and then you can actually invade the enemy ship, and then do your normal ninja space stuff. But you also have this cool strategic mechanic with your rail ship, so that's fun, right? And again, the light gun turret thing, I didn't care about that, but the strategy elements of the ship, moving around different powers to attack if you want, to shields maybe, stuff like that, and then you can also, I guess, use your points, spend points to assist whoever is invading the ship. That's so freaking cool, man. It's like somebody can play the commander. Now, I do feel like this would be good for 3 players, maybe, so one player does, maybe switches around different turrets and then kind of helps out with the enemies in the ship. One person is more of the commander, and then one person is the invader. And I guess one person could be a flex. Maybe they're Archwing out in the round and, killing things on the outside. It could probably work. But I'm a little bit worried about the balance. Like maybe one player is going to have the shit job. Like he's basically going to be the janitor who just sits there with an extinguisher all the time. That could be boring. That could be bad. But if it's balanced right, it could be really fun. And I just like that there is that variety of gameplay that Warframe has built up. It's constantly been branching the skeleton of a game, not really fleshed out, still has definitely some issues, but now the skeleton is intertwining. And then from there, I think the foundation is being built for something more meatier, something more punchy, which is, I think, what we're going to get here. So we got the Archwing mixed in, you got your normal ninja gameplay flying around, and all in one single session, one in single level or instance of gameplay, you have essentially 3 different kind of games that you're playing. That's cool. I like that. I want more of Warframe to be stuff like that, because all of Warframe, and really the ideology of Warframe, has been to just be a forever beta and just constantly experiment and add random stuff. A lot of these things aren't cohesive. A lot of these things are left shallow, even core mechanics such as damage and balance. But if we can start, if you're going to go with the idea of just spamming random content, make it cohesive, make it intertwined together and make it usable together. So lots of different toys, lots of different boxes, but don't have them totally separate and very specific, which kind of is the problem with Eidolon or Archwing or a few other updates. But it seems that they're starting to get on the ball and making things more, meldy and blendy, and I like that kind of stuff. Okay, so anyways, that's my hype and criticism at the same time, sort of, for that. Space battle's big thing. Now, the open world, I really liked how they introduced it. This is definitely giving me more of a Destiny vibe, which I think is something that Warframe has been trying to do with this update, is like they're basically saying, hey, Destiny, you got some cool ideas. We're gonna do that with Plains of Eidolon, which really kind of missed a bit. It wasn't a critical hit, but this time, there's definitely something more special, and I think we can all agree that the aesthetics, the character design, the actual, the literal character of the trailer was oozing. It is so cyberpunk, it is so interesting, it is so uniquely Warframe that I got shivers, and that is so cool. Now, as somebody who's a nerd for game design, I'm not a role player at all, but for some reason, Warframe's universe is so fucking weird. It is so interesting. It is mixed with horror and cyberpunk and a lot of different inspirations, and I've talked about this over and over again, but God, dude, it just oozes character, and I can't help but get really, really hype about that. Of course, there's going to be some new mechanics with this new civilization as well, so we're getting customizable secondaries, which also alludes the new update, where, next expansion, probably going to get customizable primaries and stuff and things like that. Maybe the next one's going to be customizable Warframe abilities. Who freaking knows, man? Make customizable frames, period, dude. Fusions, let's go. Ha! Okay, so I really do like that we are getting mechanics that do seem kind of intertwined. The story seems also to be starting to become more cohesive with the updates, at least in terms of okay, when you jump down, you're doing the quests. Plains of Eidolon, I did appreciate that we actually did a quest line. We actually met actual people and characters, and we kind of put ourselves in that. And we were rewarded for that. We got Gara, the new frame. I like that. Appreciate that. And of course, Zaz. We're going to do the same here. Get customizable secondaries. We're going to go help with the wildlife, which is really interesting. This zone also seems very environmentally different. It seems more vertical, more jagged. I think that it's going to maybe have more dynamic events. It seems like Plains of Eidolon might be considered pretty vanilla coming with this, next to this one and comparing it. This one seems a little bit more edgier. And the next one after that is probably going to be, kind of tiers of intensity. So I'm hoping with this one, we're going to get some cool storms, some more events, which is going to actually work really well. I think they learned from Plains of Eidolon, actually, that we're not going to have to jump back into town over and over again and break, the gameplay loop that we have when we're playing in the plains. Normally when you play, you want to just sit in the plains. So now we can do that. You can go take over bases, somebody spawns there, and you can kind of turn in quests like that, I believe. So that's good. Yeah, when I'm in the plains, I want that to be what I'm doing. I want to sit there and I want to fish, or, in this one, we're tracking monsters and trying to save them. I guess they're endangered species, trying to get them off the planet or whatever. And no, I want to do that. I want to play in that. I want to just sit there and do that. I don't know if you guys ever played in the Plains of Eidolon yet, but the fishing, it can be boring. It's really shallow, but it's actually kind of fun. I would sit there for hours just fishing. So yeah, dude, when I'm in a plains zone, I want to do that. And if I want to just run and do the arcade ninjas in space, killing down swaths of enemies, I will go do the normal Warframe. So plains really should have that, more unique and different gameplay loop. And I think they've learned that, and that's why they're changing it around, and it feels better. So they're definitely listening to criticism just a little bit. So I think those are the big things, is the space fights, then we have the new open world zone, but we do have a new expansion of the story, the actual quests, the actual, the alert quest. When you go out, with the Lotus, what's going on with her? Oh, hey, we got a new little trailer thing. What the crap is going on? I hope, though, that there is some of that, intertwined, and hopefully we get some more backstory of the universe when we go into the plains. I know there kind of is a little bit. If you really look into the game, such as learning about the meat walls and how in the Plains of Eidolon, they actually eat the meat from the wall. That is so crazy. And we, of course, we learned why that is and how that is, but I want more stuff like that. So why does this civilization do what it does? Why is this planet the way it is? And let's learn more about the Orokin. Let's learn more about, the previous cultures and previous histories and the battles, and, and then have that intertwined with the quest. So it looks like the quest is definitely going to be punching us in the gut. It looks like it's going to be really more unfolding, which is something to be excited about too. Because if you guys haven't played The War Within, maybe you just started Warframe and you haven't really seen the episodic nature, you think it's kind of Dark Soulsian with its story. No. There's actual legitimate story quests, dialogue, voice acting, and it's actually good. It's a little bit predictable, and you've definitely, if you're part of the sci-fi culture and you've watched other sci-fi anime and things, you'll see the inspiration, but Warframe is still really good, actually, legitimately. So yeah, you get to The War Within, play through those quests, have a blast, and get hype as hell for the tease that we got at the end of TennoCon. So I think that all in all, it seems normally these things would seem really fractured, and I'm hoping that more than ever these mechanics and these ideas are becoming more meldy and more cohesive all together. So I do hope that, we get a little bit of lore stuff with the actual open world. Hopefully somehow the progression system is all very similar and tied in between all these things, because even though if I just want to sit in the plains, or if I want to sit in the open world, hell yeah, dude, I'll do that. but like, it kind of sucks when I feel like I'm not actually progressing my character. That was a big criticism, so hopefully we'll see that there's more cohesive progression, since this is a game about grind and progression. Hopefully that can kind of happen more fluidly with all these different versions. Like, I would really hate it if the open space battle thing, if that is just like a one-time event, like, you know, like you basically just do it once and you can repeat it, but there's not much reason to, because like you've earned the one item you get from that. I really hope it's something that we can replay or maybe relive, or like maybe some people just really love being a captain. Maybe that's the kind of player they want to be. They want to be a captain. They want to captain a freaking ship, and they will just play that. They will just do that. It'd be great if they could progress through the game like that. Like that's really my only complaint and criticism is Warframe keeps adding on all these hype things that get me excited, but then they don't really ever get fleshed out. However, with these things, which now more than ever seem more radically different, it actually does seem like they're taking previous ideas and intertwining them. So that's all I can hope for the future of Warframe. So that is, at the same time, my criticism and my excitement for Warframe all together in one. And Warframe definitely has ups and downs, and it's not for everybody. More than ever, I think more people than ever can really get into the game. And if you are just looking to get into the game, and I was talking about the story, I was talking about spaceships, and I was talking about open world, just know that all this stuff is just really glittery candy that people are just eating up, right? Because we're addicted to the game. But what makes us addicted to this game truly, other than the addictive, grindy nature of the game, is the pure feeling of playing Warframe. While we get excited for these new toys and these new boxes, regardless if they're cohesive or not, which is my criticism, but we like these things, we like these new additions because just the pure game feel of Warframe is unmatched. No other game plays with as much agility. No other game gives you as insane of a power fantasy that is as well as customizable and as open and as social as Warframe. It is quite a ridiculous game that when you are done playing for the night, when you're done with your session, you might lay down, go to bed, you'll actually feel it in your blood, in your bones. It's something that I'm not really romanticizing. Again, I was pretty critical of this video. Warframe is a game that feels real freaking good. So whenever there's a new gun, new frame, new zone, new template for the procedural generation, new anything, when there's anything new at all, that is why people sink their fucking teeth in. Because it sunk its teeth into us. Warframe is hype as hell. The hype will never die, as much as I criticize it. Hopefully you guys appreciate it. I try to be unbiased. I played since the beginning, and hopefully you guys appreciate that. And if you do, hey, play with me, add me in.